Hello, Aquarius. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time, welcome. Let's see what comes up for you, Aquarius. Your central card is Knight of Wands, so that's Knight of Fire. What's in the shadow position is Page of Fire, Page of Wands. What's passing away is Three of Cups in reverse. What's approaching is Seven of Cups. And what is highlighted is Seven of Wands. For week 1, the featured card is Justice. For week 2, the featured card is Six of Wands. For week 3, we've got Chariot. And I know there's a little bit of a glare here, so I'll hold this up when I get to that card so that you can see it better. And then for week 4 is Four of Swords. So just to start with your central cards here, the main focus for you, Aquarius, is going to be around Knight of Rods. So this is the Knight of Fire. And all knights are clever, they're playful, they're romantic, they're adventurous. They have to do with balancing energies and experimenting with things. So this is the experimenter of fire. And what that means is that on the high side, he's adventurous, he's courageous, he's daring, he's not fearful of anything, he goes for it, he's active, he's passionate, enthusiastic, optimistic, all that fire energy. On the low side, that can be an excess of fire. So he sometimes goes overboard, where he leaps before he looks. He can sometimes show up as arrogant or argumentative. If you think of hot fire, burning, fire can basically fuel something. Like it can be used as fuel that propels something, or it can burn something. It can be a destructive force. So when there's too much fire, which Knight of Rods can have, it shows up as Mars energy, which is argumentativeness, excuse me, being cocky or arrogant, or, just too much on the fire side. So your energy, Aquarius, tells me it's a good time to go out and do things, be active, be passionate, be bold, be daring, be courageous, be fiery, go for it. It just says there's just a caution of not being overly arrogant or overly daring to the point where it backfires on you, literally. So that's what's featured. It's a nice active card. It's a bold card. It's adventurous. It's saying, pursue the things you want, go for the things you want. You're not going to have too much fear holding you back. Not that you Aquarians are generally fearful. You generally to the beat of your own drum anyway, Aquarius. But this is going to give you some extra fire for March, some extra boldness, some extra, just sort of like a push of energy. So use that and harness that. Just don't go overboard, is what Knight of Rods says. Page of Rods is what is in the shadow, and this is the younger form of Knight of Rods. So if you look at Knight of Rods, this is the apprentice who, through experience, grows into this guy, becomes this guy. So, and some people say in certain decks that this is the Prince of Wands and that this is the Princess of Wands. So this can be looked at as male or female, and is usually the younger version. So usually has a little bit less experience, is usually a little bit more naive. Where this represents taking action, the page represents just being open and being willing. He's sort of like, sign me up. I'm not ready to run into the challenge or the adventure yet, but I want to learn about it. I want to learn. I'm ready to start my lessons. I'm ready to take it on. So with this in the shadow position, the shadow position usually features something that is not available, that is out of view, that is inaccessible or around the corner. It's something that's being blocked or delayed. So this being a young card, I could see that there's someone who may be being left out who's younger, especially if they're a fire sign, them being Sag, Leo, or Aries. So is there a way in which a younger person is being left out of the picture? Or this could also represent your younger side. Since this is featured for you, Aquarius, this could be the younger side of you that is that you're not seeing, that you may be reacting out of a certain amount of petulancy, or you may be, you may be bringing your own youthful enthusiasm to things. You're just not aware of it, or that it's there for you to tap into and you're just not seeing it. So I'm going to encourage you to tap into that younger side of yourself. Let the younger person out. They're going to help you have more energy and openness to get the job done that the Knight is trying to do. So let them out. Look under the surface to remember what it was like to be a younger person, to be a Page of Wands. Sorry, this thing is bugging. I think I have like a little piece of hair or something on my face. Anyway, so Page of Wands is under the surface. Now, there's one more possibility for these two cards, and that is that this is someone that your month is focused around, and it could be literally a fire sign. So if you're involved with or have close proximity to a fire sign, say Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, this could be them showing up in real life. But this is the younger side of them that is not, you're not seeing that they're motivated by the younger side of themselves. So this could be a Jack or a Knight, someone who is clever, romantic, playful, all the qualities of a Knight or a Jack. But really what's under the surface that's hidden in shadow is the fact that this is the younger version of them that is motivating things, that is sort of propelling things, again, giving energy to things. So this is their actions, but this is their motivation, or this is what's under the surface propelling this. So this could either be literally you, Aquarius. You're normally an air sign, which is represented by swords, but because this is your central card, I'm seeing that this could apply to you. Or it could be a fire sign person, or two different fire sign people. The focus is on the older one. The younger one is sort of off in the shadows. Or it could just be energy that's propelling the page, giving and supporting. Literally, that's usually the function of the page to the Knight. The page is usually an attendant to the Knight who learns from the Knight. So this is energy that's fueling this confidence and this boldness. There's something under the surface that is allowing you to show up as Knight of Wands. What's passing away is Three of Cups in reverse. So if you have been getting any flack from your social scene, if there's been anyone naysaying you or speaking against you or not being unsupportive, that's going to be passing away. In the upright position, Three of Cups means celebration. It means people of who are like-minded or actually have similar hearts. That's what this Cups energy represents. Cups represent emotional energy and hearts. So usually this is very supportive people around you. This could be like friends and family, or it could be people that you work with. It could be like, if you're an artist, this could be other artists that you hang out with or create with. It's basically supportive people and like-minded people, your tribe, if you will. In the reverse position, I sometimes call this card gossip, or the peanut gallery. It's like when people, whisper things behind your back, or they're tearing you down, or, you just kind of have to shake that off or brush that off your shoulders. And what's great is in the passing away position, if there has been any negative talk or any criticism, any gossip or any of that going on, I just call it the peanut gallery. And then that's going to be passing away, because that's in the passing away position, Aquarius. So whatever the chatter is, you don't usually worry too much about that anyway, but whatever chatter is going on, Aquarius, that they're dissolving away. And you're actually getting more bold and confident. So that's kind of nice for you. And also keep in mind what you were passionate about when you were younger. What turned you on? What motivated you and made you excited? Because that's all young page fire energy, and that's going to help you bring out more of this Knight of Wands energy as well. So lean on your younger self. If this is you, if you relate to this card, if you don't, if you're seeing it show up as you rather than someone else, make sure to embrace that younger side, because it's kind of sitting in the shadows with nothing to do. It's like you have an assistant if you call upon them, and they're sitting on the bench. just being bored, when they really just want to be helping you and serving you with all this extra youthful, abundant energy. So what's approaching is Seven of Cups. This is a card of choices. And this can sometimes be a card of seduction. And it's also a card of illusion. You can see in all the fog in this card. It's a very Neptunian card, and Neptune has a sort of a foggy illusion to it. I sometimes liken this card to Las Vegas, because it's like everything is glittering, everything is shining. Sometimes it has to do with gambling, like choosing the right one, what's behind curtain number 3. But it really has to do with evaluating the choices for what each thing is, and questioning, like, what you see, is that what you get? So there's jewels here, there's castles in the sky, there's a love interest, there's a mask of who you want to be, reputation, victory. There's all kinds of things in this card that someone might be entranced with. And sometimes I'll even call this card infatuation. So there could be some choices to make coming up. That's what's approaching for you, Aquarius. But I'm going to just remind you that all that glitters is not gold. That's one of the messages of this card as well. So when this card shows up, I usually advocate that you do some research, you check the references, you really investigate, like, whether or not this fantasy home is really, what's going to serve you over time, or whatever it is that you're pursuing, whatever is looking attractive and glittering. It's saying look on a deeper level, do a little bit thorough of research, so that you're not just responding to things on a superficial, glittering, attractive, seductive infatuation level. Because remember, Neptune, which rules this card, has a lot of fantasy attached to it. So be careful that you don't just choose the goblet that is the most shining and appealing on a surface level. Make sure it's actually the choice that you want. So sometimes when this card comes up too, it's good to take some time before making a decision. Looks like you'll have lots of attractive options coming at you. This card is also a 7. Now keep in mind, you've got 2 7s coming up for you in your future. So 7s have to do with spirituality, discipline, being rigorous in your studies, thinking things through, putting forth the effort, following spiritual aims instead of things that are just superficial. So this, as 7 of Wands, sorry, there's a car outside that's revving their engine. 7 of Wands is a card of standing up for what you believe in. I call this card success despite adversity. So in this card, we see a man who is holding up a staff, and he is either fighting off all these other 6 people below him, or he's leading them in a cause. So it means standing up for what you believe in, being assertive, asserting your beliefs, leading the charge, or fighting for what you believe in. And again, it may look like a card of struggle, which sometimes it can be. Sometimes it's read as a card of adversity because you're having to fight. But I also point out in this card that you're in the advantageous position. He's in the above position, fighting off people from below. So that's why I always call this card success despite adversity. So whatever challenges come at you, if you stand up for what you believe in, if you assert yourself and assert your beliefs, there's a good chance of success with this card's fiery energy behind you. You've got a lot of, all your cards in the center here are fire and water. So that creates steam. That, again, it can either burn something, or it can propel something forward. If you think of a locomotive train, it's steam engine. So water energy here, some of the more negative chit chat, gossip, petty stuff is going to be passing away. Any criticism from outer sources, I'll say, this is your haters dissipating. They're kind of leaving the scene, so don't worry about them. And then this is choices. So that's emotional heart energy. What does my heart want? What does my heart choose? That's all water energy. And then these 3 are fire energy. So what are your motivations? Where's your passion at? Where are you fired up? That's what these 3 cards are about. So between fire energy and water energy, we get this lovely steam energy, which can really propel things. for week 1, the card that's featured is justice. So justice means weighing the evidence and rendering a verdict. Just like we see in courtrooms, we see often a figure of justice depicted in courtrooms, and it's a weighing of the scales. Like, what are the pros and cons? What are the good things versus the bad things? What's the positive versus the negative? What do I know versus what do I not know about this? What are the pieces that I have in my hand versus the unknowns? So it means coming to a decision that's fair, that's true, that's right, that's honest. It can sometimes show up when, say, if you're in a law case, if things go in your favor, if justice is on your side, if it's showing up in the right side up position. But ultimately, it means making a decision that is fair and right and true and just. So it means rendering a verdict, deciding something. If you've been weighing the evidence, or, trying to make a decision, trying to get if you've been vacillating between two positions, first week of March is a good time to make that decision, Aquarius. Justice is on your side, and she's very strong. She's got authority. She stands with the truth, she stands with the evidence, and she's wearing the crown of the law and order with her. So it's a good time for decision making, especially when you're trying to render a verdict, or when you're weighing evidence one way or the other to decide, because the truth ends up coming out with justice. In fact, justice sort of is the enforcing of the law and the truth. So that's a good sign for decision making week 1. For week 2, it looks like you've made a good decision, Aquarius, because this is 6 of Wands. This is a card about success. We see the victory laurels right here, which they usually give to the winner of any sort of sport or battle or endeavor. And 6 of Wands has to do with reputation, fame, status. He's the guy who comes in on the white horse. So he is the victor. He is the rescuer. He is the champion. And everyone recognizes him as that. So I'm seeing you kind of coming in, saving the day, or being recognized for your talents, for your decisions, for your knowledge, for your status in the second week. So whatever decision you make, if this is taking a job, I see you'll be well recognized there. If it is, I'll even say cutting something out of your current existence, this is going to put you in a nice position where people recognize your strength, your decision making. This card is just really a lot about success and being recognized for your abilities. So that's a nice card for week 2. Week 3, interesting here. What I'm seeing with this line, by the way, both of these cards feature decision making. This is Chariot, which has to do with decision making, not in the same way that justice does. Justice makes decisions based on evidence and the law. Chariot, on the other hand, makes decisions based on his instinct, what he knows and trusts about himself. He relies on logic and reason and understanding on one side, but also instinct and passion and right side brain stuff over here. I look at this as a balance of left brain and right brain. So I look at this as the wild part of ourselves, creativity, artistic ability, perhaps our irrational sides, but our wild and free sides. And this is more of the tame, calmed, analytic, sensible, left brain, mathematical, analysis and logic. This one roams free and gets inspiration. And what's great about Chariot is that he's got both of them, and he knows when to turn left and he knows when to turn right. He goes with his intuition and his instincts, and therefore he crosses the finish line every time. So it's an interesting thing where this card echoes both decision making in this line, but also success and victory. Both of these cards, we see the guy with the horses, and this one's won the race. This one is in the race, but he wins the race too. This is a card of success and victory as well. But this focus is more on the decision-making process, the flexibility of going left and right. This is the person who has achieved the success. So one of the things too that I'm seeing is that in this line here, you are good at making decisions this month, as long as you don't bother listening to all this, criticism or nitpicking, or like, I'm just going to call these your haters. In the reverse, Three of Cups is just like, you know, they wish they could be you, Aquarius. This is just people who are feeling inferior. You know, they're feeling, they look at you here as Six of Wands, and they're just jealous. This is a lot of jealousy. So don't worry about them. Don't make decisions based upon them. Your decision making is fine. Don't listen to the haters or the trolls. That's what I'm getting from these guys. From week 4, you're going to want to rest. You've done all your decision making. You've gotten the success, the victory. In week 2, that's very possible for you. Same thing here is featured. This may be when you actually cross the finish line. And then week 4 is going to be a time to rest. You can see that the armor that is on this Jack, this Knight of Fire, is closed. He's laying down. He's taking time out from the race, even time out from the rat race, and hanging his thoughts up on the wall. Swords represent air energy, which is your element, Aquarius, and they represent thoughts, knowledge, wisdom, understanding, ideas. So this is just taking a time out. This is sort of hanging your mind up on a wall. You see that these clouds just are allowed to pass by. Then this card I sometimes call R&R. So it's rest and relaxation. It's just reflecting on things. It's taking a time out to recharge your batteries. It's, you know, just recharging to fight another day. And this is going to be a much needed rest, which Jack of Wands implies there might be. A lot of focus is going to be on decision making, recognition, crossing that finish line, and then taking a time out. So it looks like it's going to be a fun month for you, full of lots of energy and decisions. And again, just don't figure in any unnecessary comments or criticism. That's passing away anyway, Aquarius. So that's my reading for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give this video a like or share it with someone else, another Aquarius who you think might enjoy it. Please feel free to give me feedback on the tarot mat, whether you love it, whether you hate it, whether you'd like me to continue using it, or if you'd like me to go back to the old format. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching.